Welcome to Townsfolk Tussle, and we are here for the finale of our second run on this channel of Townsfolk Tussle, and we've gotten to the final fight. Let's see if we can finish it off. Fingers crossed we get someone fairly easy. Again, if it's someone that we haven't fought before, or I haven't fought before at all, it's going to be pretty difficult to actually do the final fight, I think, as well. But we'll see. We're pretty decently well set up. I've already gone and changed the turn order, so now Quintus Binch is at the top for the beaten order, and Yancey Plover is at the bottom, with starting with the buying order. We do have a lot of gear, though, to sell, at least. We don't have a lot of money, but at least we have a lot of gear with Yancey and Quintus if they want to get rid of something. So the last buying phase should be pretty decent. I think we definitely need to fill out Georgie. He's sort of the weak link in the group, I think, in terms of his item quality. So hopefully we can get him set up. I've also gone and drawn our new feats of metal. So for Quintus, we have Gear Deprived, Double Feature, and Food Fighter. Double Feature and Gear Deprived are both sort of tough to get, and honestly the extra movement is not going to be huge, not super necessary because he's already pretty mobile, but we'll see. Yancey Plover, we have Grand Sacrifice, Light Pockets, and Good Company. I mean, those are all potentials to get. Light Pockets, we only have 7 coins, so we might be able to get that relatively easily, and then for some extra movement. And then Grand Sacrifice is not something that we really want to have happen, but if it does happen, we can potentially get some nice 2 damage on the ruffian there. And Georgie Iron Gut has Shameless, Technician, and Like an Ox, and those ones are not too bad. Shameless is pretty much useless at this point because we need to complete a fight without chest and leg gear equipped, but our 3-in-1 counts for both a chest and a leg gear. But also we only can get coins off of that and not stat buffs or anything like that, which is sort of what we're looking for in the final fight. We just mainly want stat buffs because the money is going to be useless after the buying phase. So let us actually make sure we have our Peddler Shop open. But first things first, we're of course going to need to do our town event phase. Now this could be bad. Having bad town events going into your last fight is probably the worst thing ever, because you're just hindering yourself and making it that much harder to actually complete. However, got to do what you got to do. So we got Yancey Plover at the first in the buying order, so he resolves his first. Also, I did realize from my last videos, my quality of recording was actually on the wrong setting, so that was nice. I was actually recording at 720p rather than 1080p, even though I was exporting at 1080p, so it might have looked a little bit blurry. It looked fine to me, but hopefully it looks better. All right, so we got a secret, so we'll discard that and draw a new one. Front of the line, this is a new one. Town event, little do the others know, the Peddler is running a special promotion today. First in line gets a free item. You should get a head start. You may move your townsfolk token to be first in buying order, which we already are. In this town phase, the player first in buying order may choose one item worth 6 coins or less from the Peddler Shop and receive it for free. This occurs before any other gear is taken. Interesting. So this would actually supersede Quintus's ability, which he gets an item worth 5 coins or less. So that's pretty nice. I mean, super. It's just a free item for us, and we're already first in the buying order, so it doesn't really change much. So we'll keep that in there so we remember. So far so good. Next up is Georgie Iron Gut. The town dump. You've stumbled upon the Eureka Springs dumping grounds. You see someone across the way, but can't make them out. Roll and add your max Moxie. That is great for Georgie because he has a total of 5 Moxie currently. And a 1 to 5, you immediately take 1 damage at the start of the next fight, but even if we get a 1, it's impossible for us to get that. 6 to 11, we can reveal the next ruffian on the town map. 12 or higher, we receive a unique piece of gear. So there's nothing bad that can happen to us, luckily, thanks to Georgie having a really high Moxie. That is a 4. 4 plus 5 is 9, so unfortunately we do not get the unique piece of gear. However, we safely scale the garbage pit for a better look, catching a glimpse of the hoodlum up ahead. Reveal the next ruffian on the town map. So this doesn't matter too much if it's someone I haven't fought before. Oh, it is someone that I have not fought before. We have the Bundits, which are like the Horde. I think I remember reading their card earlier. No idea what they do or how they operate or what the special objective is, so it's pretty much useless in terms of helping me decide what I want to buy for the Peddler gear. But at least we know. I might as well just throw it up there for now because we already know. So we got the Bundits. All right, cool. At least it's not something that bad that happened. That's perfectly fine with me. And then last but not least, we have Quintus Binch. Clumsy Criminal. Ooh, that picture is pretty gross. Pretty gruesome. A loud commotion draws you towards the Eureka Springs hardware shop. It looks like the ruffian got themselves mangled in some buzzsaws. The ruffian immediately takes 1 damage at the start of the next fight. This does not affect the ruffian's max HP. Look at this. We have been blessed by the Eureka Springs gods. And actually, I'll just leave this on the table just so we remember to do a free damage right off the start. That's awesome. All right, nothing bad happened. Oh my gosh, okay, that puts us way up ahead in terms of the likelihood of us completing this, this run. Okay, so then we go on to the buying phase. We're looking for the top 10 cards. We have the Prospector's Vest, the Rabbit's Foot, Spyglass, Slickback Headpiece, Loner's Trench Coat, Harmonica Headstrap, Belt of Knives, Cast Iron Cauldron, White Flag, and Rhythmic Drum. So we actually have a pretty decent spread of stuff. Unfortunately, no weapons though, and that really sucks because I was hoping to upgrade Georgie's weapon, especially find a one-hander for him, because then he could at least use the Hero's Woodwind at the same time, now that he can actually heal off of it. Huh, interesting. Well, first off, of course, Yancey, well, I guess it depends on if we want to reset the shop. We do have a ton of items that we can sell. So if I want to try and hunt for something, I could collectively spend 6 coins, because it's 2 coins per townsfolk collectively. That's an option. I'm gonna do some deciding and deliberating. We'll come back and I'll talk about sort of what I went through and what I purchased. All right, we're done with the buying phase, and we got pretty well set up. Even though I decided not to refresh the store, I decided there were still enough items that would be of use to us. And even though we didn't upgrade Georgie's weapon, it's not the end of the world. It still hits for 2 damage. It still does a lot of damage, so I'm still happy with him having that. So Yancey, with his town event, he was able to take an item worth 6 coins or less. So he took the Slickback headgear, and he is going to be potentially tanking for a little bit. So we can just easily get his movement up very, very quickly, even if he does get targeted with his Frantic Fighter ability. So he's all set up. Additionally, he spent 4 coins to get the Rabbit's Foot to add to his accessory slot, which gives +1 to town event and terrain rolls. And that can be pretty useful just because usually in the final fight, you're going to be interacting with terrain to try and get the special objective done, for the most part. And so that's going to be just useful to have. For Georgie Irongut, we sold both of it. We sold his 3-in-1 to give him enough coins to buy both the Harmonica Headstrap and the Cast Iron Cauldron. And so that essentially just let us fill up his slots a little bit better. And even though the Cast Iron Cauldron sets our movement to 2, that doesn't affect Georgie as much since he has the Quick Trotter ability, which is not affected by something like that. So he can effectively move 6 total still, which is super, super nice. We also sold his Hero's Woodwind as well, so he doesn't have any extra stuff in the stash, but now he has +3 max HP, so he's at 6 max HP, while still being able to re-equip his basic boost that he had at the start to give him that extra moxie, so he can still use Dad's Head Hammer and Quick Trot on the same turn. And the Harmonica Headstrap gives everyone +1 movement. So now, Yancey starts at 7 movement, and Quintus starts at 7 movement as well. So movement is going to be super useful here, just because, again, we are going to be trying to, potentially move around the board and get the special objective done. So I want to be moving as fast as possible, and we have a lot of health to balance that out. Yancey's a little bit on the squishy side, but that's okay. Maybe we can equip Rainmaker in the middle of the fight and potentially heal off that. Quintus actually didn't end up buying anything. There wasn't really anything that he needed to replace. He's already pretty well set up in his gear, so he's doing well. I was considering the Rhythmic Drum for someone, and also Spyglass potentially could be nice, could be pretty useful every now and then, but overall, I think I'm pretty happy with what our gear is like. So we're going to throw these at the bottom of the deck of the Peddler. We're going to flip this over, and we are going to set up for the Bundits final fight. So I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to set up the fight, and let's do it. All right, we are back, and while setting up the fight, I thought to myself, this is going to suck. This is going to be difficult. Also, you may have noticed a slight drop in quality. Remember how I mentioned about recording in 1080p at the start of the video? Turns out my laptop does not like recording at 1080p when I'm trying to use my phone as a webcam, and my webcam keeps disconnecting and stopping the video. So to avoid that, I'm gonna switch back to my 720p recording. I apologize. Maybe one of these days I'll invest in a 4K camera, but until then, we gotta make do. So yes, I've set up the fight. You'll notice that there are some extra tokens here that is gonna be involved in the final fight. But first, let us figure out who the Bundits actually are. The Bundits are the Endless Horde. The Bundits are a motley crew of wandering bundos. Their lair is overpopulated beyond belief, and they have no choice but to expand outwards for food and shelter. Don't feel too bad for them, though. These little fellas leave nothing but ruin in their wake, tearing the countryside to bits. Bundos have shown up around Eureka Springs before, simply to pull pranks, rob, and cause property damage to everyone's dismay. They're manageable in small numbers, but now, with the town gates wide open, the full Bundo army has shown up to claim the town as their own. We're playing with 3 townsfolk, so the Bundits start with 15 health, and 6 movement. And then for the final fight, we have the Bunny Queen Cometh, which you can see is this represented by this token there. While the other ruffians are pushing up daisies, all that's left are these bundos. The townsfolk can't believe the amount of them that have strolled into town. There's only one possible reason. The Bundo Queen has found herself a new home. She's the cause of the Bundo overpopulation problem, and now she's right here in Eureka Springs. If the townsfolk don't deal with her, the town will be completely overrun. So the first thing to do is set up the Bundo Queen, and also set up the scatter action card and place 4 Bundo tokens around the Bundo Queen, and we'll get to that in a second. We also need to appoint a new sheriff. Now, for a sheriff, before the final fight starts, you're gonna appoint a sheriff. It is gonna be whoever has the most feats of metal points completed out of all the feats of metal cards they have, and that was gonna be Quintus, because Yancey only has 3, Georgie only has 2, however, Quintus, I believe, has 4, so Quintus becomes the sheriff. If you do have a tie, you can decide who is to become the sheriff, and they get a unique piece of gear that is generally going to be useful in the final fight. So we got the Irresistible Carrot, which is an accessory, which unfortunately is going to replace Quintus's bloody badge, but it does have a pretty useful ability. We can spend 1 moxie to move the Bundo Queen or any Bundo terrain piece, which are the little circle ones, up to 3 squares, so we can get into a better position to attack her potentially, or just to move them out of the way. The Ruffian do not count these Bundo tokens as obstacles, however, they do count as obstacles for us, so we gotta be careful about that. So that is going to be in Quintus Binch's accessory, and it shouldn't be too big of a problem. We do just have to pay attention to potentially moving around them to shoot them, because if they are considered obstacles for us, we can't actually shoot them. Because I believe it does mention, also the Bundo Queen has 3 HP per townsfolk, so she has 9 health total. The Bundits, now here's the kicker. The Bundits restore to their max, so the Bundits, the actual ruffian, they restore to their max HP at the start of their turn if the queen is alive. However, if the queen is dead, they take 2 actions on their turn. So either way, you're pretty screwed. Obviously, you do need to kill the queen first. However, when you do that, the Bundits are going to go into overkill mode and run you over. Now, when you deal damage to the Bundo Queen, over here, you have to place the Bundo Queen in the farthest board corner from all the townsfolk, so she's going to move away from everybody. Then, if there are any Bundo terrain pieces on the board, you place each of them in an empty square adjacent to you. And when it says you, I'm assuming that it's whichever townsfolk deals damage. These all get angry and they move to the spot adjacent to you. So that doesn't sound good. So, to win, we have to defeat the Bundits and the Bundo Queen. You lose if all townsfolk are knocked out, or if the new sheriff is knocked out at the start of the ruffian's turn. Luckily, we do have a pretty tanky sheriff, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Plus, we do have Yancey to draw some damage away from Quintus, so we should be able to keep him alive. Now, the special objective, we ended up pretty lucky, because the special objective is have Georgie Iron Gut deal the final blow on both the Bundo Queen and the Bundits. That's going to be pretty difficult. To coordinate that is going to take some doing. Luckily, he does have a 2 damage weapon, so it's a little bit easier to do. So hopefully we can just burst her down really, really quickly and then just survive the onslaught of the Bundits double actions and then get Georgie Iron, get the final blow, because getting the special objective is how you're going to unlock the special gear. Now, I actually did end up doing that for Quintus, and that's how he actually unlocked his alternative starting gear. So I believe each townsfolk is going to have some specific fight that they have some sort of lore connection to with the ruffian, and so you're going to need that specific character to actually get the special objective, which is a little unfortunate. It does sort of force you to replay to actually get that special objective, but I mean, that's the whole point of this game, is to replay it over and over again. So that is going to be it. So we're going to place that on leave that on the final fight side. We're going to grab a little token to mark the Queen's health, which is at 9, since it's 3 HP per townsfolk. And also, here's the scatter action card. So this is what they start with in play. Scatter, they're all over the place. There's no target, but you keep this card in front of the townsfolk. Whenever another action deals damage to a townsfolk, you create another Bundo terrain piece adjacent to that townsfolk. We do have 2 in reserve, so there's 6 total. A maximum of 6 bundos can be on the board at one time. Do not place more than once the limit is reached. A bundo is considered a feature for ruffians, but an obstacle for townsfolk and other bundos. If a townsfolk ends their turn adjacent to at least 1 bundo, they take 1 damage. Townsfolk may attack a bundo. If the attack is successfully deals any point of damage, remove that bundo from the board. So we're gonna have to do some bundo management and sort of cull the herd a little bit. So it's going to be a big balancing act for this fight, and it's going to be pretty difficult, I think. We are definitely going to want to focus down the Bundo Queen and try to manage the Bundos as much as possible. I think Yancey is the best to deal with the Bundos because he is able to attack twice in a turn, thanks to having 2 one-handed weapons. So I think we'll do that. We'll have, obviously, Quintus trying to focus down the bosses with the Marksman's Musket, and Georgie Iron Gut is just going to try and be the final blow. We're just going to have to be very, very careful and hopefully get the final blow off of them. Yeah, so that is all the boss stuff. That is essentially how it's going to work. We're going to be setting up our characters as well. However, I'm not really sure what the best to do is here. I'm thinking that maybe we're going to do this and then maybe try and knock down maybe we should try to knock down the fence right away and just have some clean shots directly towards the Bundo Queen. I will also keep Quintus, I think, as far away as possible, potentially, so we can put Quintus there. But maybe, yeah, maybe we'll have Yancey draw the Bundit horde downwards, and we can just sort of go through that. We do sort of want to try and get rid of this anyways, because it is an obstacle, so we can't shoot through it. And then Georgie Iron Gut might as well stay by Yancey here, and we'll see what we can do. So Yancey does have the Rabbit's Foot, which gives him +1 to town events and terrain rolls. All right, we have the fight set up. I apologize also for the change in lighting. I actually was up super late last night, and when the camera messed up on my thing, I was like, you know what? It's too late to do this. I will do it tomorrow. So I do want to try and get it done though, because in just a few hours, my friends are coming over and we're gonna be playing Townsfolk Tussle ourselves. So I want to make sure to finish up this run, so I don't have to take pictures and try and reset everything back up for the video. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not looking forward to this fight. This fight's gonna be pretty rough, I think. We'll see. Hopefully the Irresistible Carrot can put the Bundo Queen, I guess, into a position where we can attack, because it seems like that's what these are for, because these count as obstacles. The Bundos, they count as obstacles for us, but not the ruffian. I also was looking, and I don't believe my... Oh, where is it? Where's my bloody badge? I forgot. Oh, there it is. Bloody badge also, I realized afterwards, it says when you activate your Trickster ability, deal 1 damage to all characters adjacent to you after swapping. The biggest thing we have to take into consideration is these Bundo tokens. They count as terrain, I believe. So, yeah, because they're called Bundo terrain pieces. So I don't think my Bloody Badge actually works. I think we have to attack them to kill them. So that's going to make things even more difficult. I also apologize for my sniffles. Allergies are great. I love allergies. All right, well, we're just gonna get started. We'll see what we can do. Hopefully we can finish this as quick as possible. I think our game plan is really just gonna burst down the queen as fast as possible and then try to keep all ourselves alive as much as we can. So I think we're just going to try and stay away from the Bundits. Maybe we'll use Yancey to just pull the Bundits around, assuming that they target closest or target a single person. So we'll do that. Of course, the Bundits get to go first, though. Bumbling obstructions. It's hard to navigate the landscape without tripping over these little pests. No target. Move each bundle terrain piece 1 square towards the closest townsfolk. So that would go there. This would go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, this one would go, actually this one would go here. This would go here. And this one I think would move towards, actually, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, they all would move towards Yancey and Georgie. That actually works out well for us because now it leaves up the queen open to be shot by the marksman's musket. Each townsfolk that is adjacent to a bundo terrain piece takes 1 damage. Move towards the farthest townsfolk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they're both 5. So Georgie and Yancey will roll off. Georgie gets a 3. Yancey gets a 1. That's not boding well for my rolls today. All right, well, it's our turn, so Quintus gets to go first. So Quintus is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And then we're just going to shoot the queen. We're looking for a 4 or higher. That's a 5. That's a successful hit, so we're off to a good start there. So we do 2 damage to the queen, so the queen goes down to 7. The queen also then gets teleported to the furthest corner, which is going to be over here, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, it's actually a tie. I guess we'll roll. So we'll be, yeah, 1 to 5, 6 to 10. It's going to be over here. And then all the remaining Bundo tokens, place them to an empty square adjacent to you. So unfortunately, Quintus is in a bad spot now. Because that also means we can't move. Musket has to reload. And we have no more Moxie to... oh, this should be... We have no more Moxie to swap positions. So unfortunately, that is going to end our turn, which means because we're ending our turn adjacent to one of the Bundo tokens, we take 1 damage. All right, it's going to be Georgie's turn next. So Georgie, again, we want to make sure to try to get Georgie the killing blow on the queen, but we need to free up Quintus. But let's also get away from the Bundo. Let's move 1 here. Let's try and break down this fence. We're looking for a 4 or higher. That's a 9. That's going to be a success. So then we can choose to jump over it or break it down. We'll break it down. We have 1 movement left, and then we're going to spend 2 Moxie to use our Quick Trot ability to go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no point in attacking the Bundits because they restore to their max HP at the start of the turn because the queen's still alive. Also, yeah, the Bundits would have actually taken 1 damage because of the town event we got earlier, but yeah, they would have just restored back to full health anyways. All right, it's going to be Yancey's turn. So Yancey is going to... what does Yancey want to do? I think we'll go... We're going to try to free up... I think we're going to kill those Bundos first. So we'll go 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, we're 1 square away from shooting with our crossbow and spring you on, so that's really bad. Because Quintus is in not a good spot, because he won't be able to attack next turn. What can we do? We could use a springy wand. I think we might have to. Again, we have to keep Quintus alive for sure, because he is the sheriff. So let's, spend 1 Moxie to move 1 Townsfolk up to 10 squares. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, let's end here. Then let's spend 2 Moxie to use Sure Shot Crossbow on the Bundo next to us. Anything but a 1. That's going to be a 5, so that kills off this Bundo because any point of damage is a successful kill. And we'll stay there. And then it's going to be the Bundits' turn. Soil Slip, farthest townsfolk. If there's 4 or more, target the 2 furthest townsfolk. It's going to be Quintus. Pull the target 10 squares towards the Bundits, then each target that is adjacent to the Bundits takes 1 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, shoot. He's just enough. So he takes 1 damage, and because a different action card caused damage, that spawns a Bundo token. This is not good. Not off to a good start. All right, Quintus's turn. Yeah, Quintus can't really do much of anything. I think we're just going to spend 1 Moxie to move the Bundo Queen 3 squares up to 3 squares. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to try to heal off the vegetable patch, I think. And then our turn ends, so this reloads for next turn. It's going to be Georgie's turn. So Georgie... Oof. Do we just stay together and just like roam? I don't know what the best course of action is. We'll go 1 here and then spend 2 Moxie to use Quick Trotter to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then spend our last movement. We do want to stay away from the Bundits, but we want to be in a position where we can potentially attack the Queen as well. Yancey's going to go. I think we're going to clear out these Bundos. Yancey's going to shoot the one right in front of him with the Sure Shot Crossbow. Anything but a 1, that's a 3. That's going to be a successful kill. Then we're going to use our Springy Wand to attack the one in the vegetable patch. It's going to be looking for a 4. That's a 7, so that's going to be a kill. Okay, we're doing well there. It's going to be the rest of our Moxie. And I think we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just stay away from the Bundos and the Bundits, I think. It's going to be the Bundits' turn. Coordinated Assault, closest townsfolk. Take each Bundo terrain piece on the board and place them adjacent to the target. If no Bundo terrain pieces are on the board, create 2 and then play the next card in the action deck. Well, that's not good. Luckily, there's only 2. Fortunately, that is going to be Quintus. Let's do that. Then play the next card in the action deck. Latch On, closest townsfolk, range attack. If the target's within 4 squares, luckily he's not, they take 2 damage, then move the Bundits towards the farthest townsfolk. Yeah, that's going to be Georgie. 4, 5, 6. And then we would have had to roll on the after effect if the damage went through, but luckily it did not. All right, it is going to be Quintus's turn. So Quintus is going to shoot the Queen, I think. Oof. So if we shoot the Queen now, she's going to be teleported here. And that's going to be pretty scary for if Georgie tries to get over there, because he might get cornered by the Bundits. So, what is the best course of action? I mean, we could still just try to kill the rest of these Bundos, but yeah, it's too bad Georgie didn't go first, because we can maneuver it a little bit better. But that's fine. I think Quintus should still do damage. We still need to burst down the Queen as quickly as possible. Still looking for a 4. That's a 3, so that's going to be a miss. Good job, Quintus. We have no Moxie left, but let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And end our turn in the vegetable patch, so we restore 1 HP. Georgie is going to go 1, 2, and then spend Quick Trotter to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof, actually. Let's go 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And either way, Bundits can reach him. Shoot. I mean, that's fine. I mean, not much we can do there. All right, Yancey's turn. Yancey's just going to try to kill those bundos right beside him, so we're going to use our sure shot crossbow first. So looking for anything but a 1. That's a 6, so this one dies. And then we're looking for a 4 or higher. That is a 1. Cool. Well, that is that. Also, let's just remind ourselves that we've used the springy wand. So let us go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just try to keep spread apart, because with the queen teleporting around, I think spreading apart is our best bet. All right, it's going to be the Bundits' turn. Flurry of carrots. Move towards the farthest townsfolk, then each townsfolk within 4 squares rolls. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means Yancey has to roll. If we get a 1, our HP is set to 1. Oh boy. Okay, Yancey, don't screw yourself. That is a 1. So his HP goes to 1. Effectively 3 damage. The worst part is it set your HP to 1, so we can't even use Smithy's Apron to negate that damage, because it's not considered damage. That really sucks. I mean, it would have been worse on Georgie or Quintus, but now Yancey's pretty much screwed. I think we have to go to the farm. Oh, which I put on the wrong side. We need to go to the farm to hopefully heal off of that, because that's really our only chance. I mean, we could get 1 health off the vegetable patch, but man, that is, I think we're just getting really unlucky this fight, so that's not boding well. All right, well, it's going to be Quintus's turn. Quintus is just going to spend 1 Moxie to move the Bundo Queen. 1, 2, 3. And then he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Georgie is going to go spend 4 Moxie to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go 1, 2. And then Yancey. What do we want to do with Yancey? And we also didn't take damage because Slickback would have triggered and we would have gotten extra movement. I mean, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to try to heal 2 off the farm. We need a 3 to 6 because we have +1 from Rabbit's Foot. Oh, that's a 9. That's a waste. So a 9 makes it a 10, which means that the Bundits take 3 damage, which also triggers a breaking point. So that ends Yancey's turn, and they're going to get back to full health anyway, so that effectively is probably going to kill Yancey. Helter Skelter, no target. Move all townsfolk 2 squares towards the Bundits. Okay. Then move each Bundo terrain piece 2 squares towards the closest townsfolk, then play the next card in the action deck. The old swapperoo, the 2 closest townsfolk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so it's tie between Georgie, 7, and Quintus. 7, Georgie. 10, Quintus. 10, Georgie. 2, Quintus. 2. What is going on? Georgie. 5, Quintus. 10. Okay. Georgie. It says Georgie and Yancey. The Bundits grab the target's weapons and toss them around. How aggravating. The 2 targets exchange all weapons if possible. Then a target of their choice gains +1 Moxie for the fight. And you play the next card in the action deck. The Bundits seem to be going faster through their cards than Virginia. Well, that really sucks. So Yancey and Georgie swap weapons. I mean, luckily, all of our weapons are fairly interchangeable, and luckily, Yancey does have 3 Moxie, so he can actually still use the Dad's Head Hammer. Ooh, that's awkward, though. And then we play the next card in the action deck. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this. I think we just got really unlucky with some things. We've only hit the Queen once. Unchecked growth. The Bundits become uncontrollable if their numbers grow too high. If there are 3 or more Bundo tokens, lucky there aren't, all townsfolk take 1 damage, regardless of the distance. Jesus. And then move towards the farthest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, that was just a breaking point action, too. wasn't it? Yeah, because they did Flurry of Carrots. Yeah, Flurry of Carrots, then the breaking point on Helter Skelter. Well, that really sucks. So then they get another one. Pile on, Townsfolk with the most owned gear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's going to be Quintus. Move towards target. If it reaches them, deal 1 damage. Oh boy. And because it dealt a different card dealt the damage, we have another Bundo token spawning beside Quintus. Jeez. The target may discard 1 piece of owned gear. If they do not, we take an additional damage. Luckily, we have a lot of excess gear. So let's just get rid of our detective's cap. All right, well, it's gonna be Quintus's turn. So Quintus can shoot with the musket now. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're gonna shoot the queen. Looking for a 4. That's a 7. Finally, something going our way. So it brings her down to 5, and she teleports to. This would be the furthest, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. And then it has to reload. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, also, Bundits would have healed back to full because the queen's still alive. And then these tokens go beside Quintus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why did I use all my movement? Okay, no, I forgot that they teleport to you. So knowing that, I definitely would have saved 1 movement to pretty much shoot her here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that would have been enough. And then we'll move so we don't end up adjacent. Okay, Georgie's turn. Georgie's gonna go 1, 2, and then go use Quick Trotter to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, we're 1 square away, so that ends Georgie's turn. Yancey Plover. We can't use the farm anymore, so I guess we're gonna try to work our way towards the vegetable patch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're just going to spend 2 Moxie to use Frantic Fighter. And then it's going to be the Bundits' turn. So it's single target. It's the farthest townsfolk, Stampede. So Yancey does get a movement. Oh, sorry. Then it just it targets Yancey. Move towards target, then trigger after effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Bundits leave a trail of destruction in their wake. They deal 2 damage to any townsfolk that collided with them. That's honestly the best card, because it doesn't do anything. Okay, Quintus is just going to spend 1 Moxie to... I mean, just so Georgie doesn't have to move, we'll move the Bundo Queen up to here. And then Georgie's turn. Georgie's going to shoot with a Sure Shot crossbow to deal 1 damage to Queen, looking for anything but a 1. That's a 3. So it does 1 damage, brings her down to 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, 4. Brings her down to 4. And then these 2 tokens spawn beside Georgie, and this queen moves towards here. And then we're going to use our movement to go 1, 2, and then 4 Moxie to go, or 2 Moxie to use our Quick Trotter to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, no, this should be here. Before we move, we actually do have 1 Moxie. We have enough Moxie left over to use our Springy Wand, actually. So let's just might as well attack one of the Bundo tokens. Looking for a 5, because we have -1. That's a 9. Okay, so one of these does die. Let's actually get rid of this one. And yeah, we'll go 1, 2, and then spend 2 Moxie to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Because effectively, it's the same amount of Moxie to use both of our weapons as our Dad's Head Hammer is, so we can use our Quick Charter ability and use both of our weapons, which is nice. Yancey's turn. Yeah, Yancey's just going to go and end his turn in the vegetable patch to get 1 health. Oh, excuse me. I am actually going to spend 2 Moxie as well to swap out the Dad's Head Hammer for the Rainmaker, which gives us +1 accuracy, and the an old Smacky. I could equip the old belt, but he's such low health that if I miss, meaning if I get a 1, I deal damage to myself. Because the Rainmaker makes it so we hit on anything but a 1 with the old belt, but I don't really want to take that risk. All right, the Bundits' turn. Endless Swarm. The Bundits swarm over the landscape, completely covering some of your teammates. The 2 townsfolk with the highest HP is Georgie and Quintus. Move towards the closest townsfolk. Target attempts to fend off the horde. Well, closest townsfolk is Georgie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the targets have to roll, so Georgie and Quintus. Roll and add their accuracy. That really sucks because Georgie has -1. We have to both roll a higher than a 6. Georgie has to roll a 7. We get the weakness. That'd be good. Although the weakness is sort of useless because the Bundits would take damage, but they just restore back to full. We do get to remove this for free, but that's minor. Otherwise, the swarm is endless. If no Bundo terrain pieces are on the board, create 1 adjacent to each target. Then deal X damage divided as you choose between all targets, where X is the number of Bundo terrain pieces on the board. You can have up to 6 terrain pieces on the board. So you could potentially have to divide 6 damage up between the 2 targets if 1 person fails their roll. Jesus. All right, well, we'll do Georgie first because only 1 needs a fail. That's a natural 10. Okay, so Quintus has 0 accuracy. That's a 5. Well, that fails, unfortunately, because both need to roll 6. So since there is a Bundo token, then we don't have to spawn anymore. And then deal X divided as you choose between all targets, where X is the number of Bundo terrain pieces on the board. We'll just do 1 damage to Georgie because he can heal that back. All right, Quintus's turn. Quintus has his marksman musket ready to go again. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We can shoot the queen, looking for a 4. That's a 6, so that's 2 damage. Brings her down to 2. And then she'll spawn in this corner now. And this Bundo token will end up adjacent to Quintus, but we're gonna spend the rest of our movement, which is 4 more, to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that will need a reload. All right, Georgie. We got to get Georgie in range. Unfortunately, Georgie doesn't have his 2-hander anymore. We are going to use the stale cake, though, to heal 1. Might as well. I guess we'll just go 1, 2, and then use Quick Charter to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, that's it. No point in doing damage to the Bundits because they're going to heal the full. Yancey's turn. So Yancey is just going to run over. Maybe it's best to keep just 1. Since some cards seems like they interact with if there are no Bundos on the board, maybe it's better to just leave 1. Yeah, we'll leave 1. So we have 7 movement. Let's see. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we will use our Frantic Fighter ability for 2 Moxie. So if the next card is a single target, it'll target Yancey instead. Otherwise, we get a movement. All right, and that's the Bundo's turn, or Bundit's turn. Tainted Veggie, no target, so Yancey does get a movement. Move towards the farthest townsfolk, then trigger the after effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A Bundo approaches the group, offering them a plump carrot. A townsfolk of the group's choice accepts the carrot, restoring 1 HP. The Bundo grins and hops away as the townsfolk's stomach begins to rumble. Keep this card in front of the chosen townsfolk. Your stomach is on the fritz. Whenever you roll a natural 1 for any reason, you lose 1 movement and take 1 damage. I mean, We just have to get Yancey back up. So we'll give Yancey the Tainted Veggie. All right, well, it's gonna be Quintus's turn. Quintus can't use his marksman, but this will reload for next turn. We're just gonna spend 1 Moxie to move this token 1, 2, 3 with the Irresistible Carrot. And then I think we're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll just chill there. We'll go 7. All right, it's gonna be Georgie's turn. So Georgie's gonna go use Quick Trotter to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we can move here. We want to be on this half of the board, so when the queen is damaged, it'll spawn here. Because then I'll set up Georgie to go do the killing blow. Because, yeah, that would be the furthest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. By 1 square. Okay. It's going to be Yancey's turn. So Yancey's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to try to hit with Old Smacky. Actually, now that we have the health, let's spend 2 Moxie to swap out for the old belt. So we're hitting on anything but a 1. That's a 7. So either way, that would have hit. That deals 1 damage, spawns her here. She's down to 1, and this Bundo token would end up right beside Yancey. We definitely have the movement, though. 1, 2, 3, to go 5, 6, 7. Let's go here. All right. And then it's going to be the Bundits' turn. Tower of Bundits. The Bundits climb on top of one another, forming a tower beneath their grassy cloak. The Bundos leap onto the townsfolk from their elevated position. Range attack. Deal 1 damage to all townsfolk within 4 squares of the Bundits. No one. Then move towards the farthest townsfolk. Okay, that is the best card ever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be a tie. Yeah, tie between Yancey and Georgie. So we're going to go Yancey. Gets a 7. Come on, Georgie, roll higher. Georgie gets a 9. Okay, so it's going to go for Yancey. That's good for us because it clears the path for Georgie. It's going to be Quintus's turn, so Quintus can shoot. So what we could do, I could shoot the Bundits because as long as Georgie... 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you can't even reach. Okay, so in that case, we're going to spend 1 Moxie to use Irresistible Carrot to push the queen 1, 2, 3. 3 squares that way. Because now that puts the queen in range, and then we're just going to try to run away. So we have 7 movement, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to be Georgie's turn. Georgie's going to spend 2 Moxie to go Quick Trotter to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to use 1 movement to go here. Then we're 4 squares away. We're going to use Sure Shot Crossbow, anything but a 1. That's an 8, so that's going to kill the queen. Now you have to watch out because now Bundits get 2 actions per turn. And we can't do anything else with our turn, with our other Moxies, so that's going to be it for us. Yancey's turn. Yancey is going to spend 2 Moxie. Oof, do we want to swap to the Dad's Head Hammer? It's pretty tough to hit with. We'll save the Martyr's Wand for guaranteed damage. If I swap to Old Smacky now, I can't attack with it this turn, so I think this turn we will spend 1 Moxie and 1 movement to attack, looking for anything but a 1. That's a natural 10. Okay, that's good. So we get the guaranteed damage on the Bundits, and we get a roll on the critical hit table. That's a 9. So that means we actually get the unique piece of gear with the star, or the ruffian gear with the star on it, which is going to be the Peddler's Cart Key. Unfortunately, that sounds like something that is pretty useless. It sounds like it's Peddler related. I mean, it might give us a stat buff, so I guess maybe not. Peddler's Cart Key. It is an accessory. We can discard during the town phase to draw the top 3 cards of the Peddler deck and keep 1. Well, that's not useful. We did do a damage though, so at least that happened. And I think we'll spend our other 2 Moxie Frantic Fighter. And I think we're just gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll go 8. And we already used the vegetable patch with Yancey, so that's not gonna work. And then it's gonna be the Bundits. So the Bundits get 2 turns. Tiny Thieves, you've been pickpocketed. All townsfolk within 3 squares of the Bundits or a Bundo terrain piece. So luckily no one. All targets unequip their accessories. That gear cannot be re-equipped this fight. Any target that does not have any accessory takes 1 damage. Then the Bundits move towards the farthest townsfolk. Yeah, that's gonna be Georgie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, because the target wasn't a single target, Yancey does get another movement. Wow, so that could make the irresistible carrot completely useless. I mean, luckily we've already utilized it for the queen. We can use it for Bundo terrain piece tokens, but that's not as relevant. And they have to reshuffle the deck because they do get another action because the queen is dead. They are angry. However, because the deck has been reshuffled, Yancey's Rainmaker triggers, so Yancey does heal 1 HP and back up to full. So that is, we're in a pretty good spot there. Oh shoot, I totally missed something. Georgie would have got like an Ox at the end of the town phase because he has more than 5 max HP, so he would have an extra Moxie. I don't think it was really relevant, but that's fine. And oh, dang it. I keep forgetting stuff. I'm managing too much. Quintus would have got gear deprived because he had to discard something. So he would actually have +2 movement, so he actually has 9 movement. That could have been useful. And then second action for the Bundits. Helter Skelter. All townsfolk move towards the Bundits. 1, 2. 1, 2. Uh-oh. Then two squares for the Bundo terrain pieces. And then play the next card in the action deck. Oh boy, this could be bad. Endless Swarm. 2 townsfolk with the highest HP. It's going to be Georgie and a tie between... tie between Yancey and Quintus. So Quintus gets a 3, Yancey gets a 7. So it's gonna be Quintus and Georgie. Oh, they have to roll and add their accuracy again. I mean, hopefully we can get the weakness now that we've gotten rid of the queen. So let's do Georgie first because Georgie has -1. That's an 8, -1 is 7, so that's a success. Quintus needs a 6 or higher. That's a 9, so that's going to be a success. The weakness triggers, which the Bundits immediately take 1 damage, brings it down to 13, and you can remove up to 2 Bundo terrain pieces on the board. Sweet. And then remove this card from the game. That's good, because now that card's removed from the game, we don't have to worry about that card doing a shit ton of damage to us if the Bundos get out of hand. Okay, things are turning up. We're actually in a much better spot now. So that was the Bundit's turn, so it's gonna be Quintus's turn. Quintus can actually shoot now. However, that would trigger the breaking point, which I think is fine. Georgie has a lot of health and he can tank a lot, so let's do that. We gotta be 12 squares away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're definitely in range, so we're looking for a 4. That's an 8, that's gonna be a successful hit. It's gonna be 2 damage. It's gonna end Quintus's turn. We have to reload the musket, and Bundits get to go. Unchecked growth. No target. The Bundits become uncontrollable if their numbers are too high. If there are 3 or more terrain pieces on the board for Bundos, all townsfolk take 1 damage, move towards the farthest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're in a decent position still. It's Georgie's turn. Quintus is in a danger zone though, and we've already used our springy one, so Quintus might take some damage here. Georgie, we're gonna go 1, 2. So we're 4 squares away. We're gonna use our springy wand. We're looking for a 5 or higher. That's a 7, so that's 1 damage, and then we're still 4 squares away, so we'll use our sure shot crossbow. Looking for anything but a 1. That's a 5, so that's gonna be another damage. And then we do have enough Moxie left over to use our Quick Trot ability to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll move back away from the Bundits. Yancey Plover is just going to... Oof, how do we want to do this? Could use the Martyr's Wand. We do have max health again. I think we're gonna go... I think we still just want to kite. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll use 2 Moxie to use our Frantic Fighter ability. Yeah, we'll use our 2 Moxie to use Frantic Fighter. That's going to be the Bundits' first action, so if it's a single target, it's not, so Yancey gets up to max movement 10. Oh, it's the old swaparoo, the 2 closest townsfolk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's going to be Quintus and Georgie. The Bundits grab the target's weapons and toss them around, so they swap. Which I guess isn't the worst thing in the world. Because now that Georgie has a 2 damage weapon, it's going to be easier for him to shoot and get the killing blow. And then target of their choice gets +1 Moxie, so we'll do Quintus. Oh, I actually didn't... I forgot to do that, I think. Yeah, so we would have actually given a Moxie to either Georgie or Yancey for the first trade. So we'll give Yancey that 1 Moxie. And then play the next card in the action deck. Latch on. Closest townsfolk is going to be Quintus. If it's within 4 squares, which he is, they take 2 damage. Shite. And that spawns a Bundo beside Quintus. Uh-oh, this could be bad. Then move towards the farthest townsfolk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Bundo won't let go, so we need a roll on a 1 to 4. Quintus can't move. That's a 4, so Bundos won't let go. The target cannot move on their next turn. We have to keep Quintus alive because he is the sheriff. Uh-oh, this could be really bad. And that was just the first action. Shoot, yeah, that was just the first action. So Bundits get to go again. Bumble obstructions. No target. Move each Bundo terrain piece 1 square towards the townsfolk closest to them. There's only 1. Any townsfolk that is adjacent to a Bundo terrain piece take 1 damage. That also spawns another Bundo token. Then move towards the farthest townsfolk. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, it's Quintus's turn. Quintus is down to 2. We just need to get him away from everyone. We're going to spend 1 Moxie to attack with our Sure Shot crossbow. We're going to attack the one of the Bundo tokens closest to us. We're looking for a 4. That's a 2. It's going to be a miss, so we're going to use our Sure Shot crossbow. Anything but a 1. That's a 4. So one of these dies, at least. Then we're going to use our 9 movement to get the hell out of dodge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. It's going to be Georgie's turn. Georgie is just going to shoot the Bundits. We're looking for a 5 or higher because we do have -1 accuracy. That's a 6. That's a successful hit, so that's going to do 2 damage. Unfortunately, it does end Georgie's turn, and the Bundits do get an action for the breaking point. Tower of Bundits. Bundos leap onto the townsfolk from their elevated position. Range attack. Deal 1 damage to all townsfolk within 4 squares of the Bundits. Then move towards the farthest townsfolk. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. It's going to be Yancey's turn. Yancey's going to spend 2 Moxie to swap the old belt with the Martyr's Wand. And then, since we are 5 squares away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to discard an accomplished feat to deal 1 damage to the Bundits. Unfortunately, we can only do that once, though. And then we're going to spend 2 Moxie, our last 2 Moxie D's Frantic Fighter, so make sure it targets Yancey if it's single target, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's going to be Bundits' first action for the turn. Townsfolk with the most owned gear, it's a single target, so it does target Yancey. Move towards target, if it reaches him, deal 1 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After effect, no point in doing that because they didn't take damage. And then their second action is going to be Flurry of Carrots. Move towards the farthest townsfolk. I think it's just moving back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 12. Yeah, so it's going to be Quintus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each townsfolk within 4 squares. No one is, luckily, because that would reset HP to 1 potentially, like that what happened to Yancey. So it is going to be Quintus's turn. Quintus is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can go 6. So we're 4 squares away. We're going to attack with our Sure Shot crossbow, so anything but a 1. That's a 7, so that's 1 damage. Then we're also going to use our springy one, so we're looking for a 4 or higher. That's an 8, so that's going to be another damage, bringing him down to 4. It's going to trigger the last breaking point. Soil Slip. Move towards the farthest townsfolk. Farthest townsfolk. Pull the target 10 squares towards. I think that's going to be Georgie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then each target that's adjacent to the Bundits takes 1 damage. Okay, that's good. It's going to be Georgie's turn. Georgie unfortunately can't shoot this turn. So let's just get the hell out of dodge. We're going to spend 2 Moxie to use our Quick Trotter ability to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll spend 2 movement to go 1, 2. It's going to be Yancey's turn. Yancey is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually go 6. And we'll go 5. So we're 5 squares away. We're going to discard another accomplished feat to do another damage to the ruffian. So he's down to 3. I think we can do this. We just got to keep Quintus alive. We're going to spend 2 Moxie to also use our Frantic Fighter ability to make sure if it's single target, it only attacks us. And then we're going to spend, that was 5. We're going to go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and move back down here. It's going to be, okay, Bundits takes 2 turns, so we'll see what happens. Coordinated Assault. Closest townsfolk, it's going to target Yancey, though. Take each bundle terrain piece on the board and place them adjacent to the target. Okay, luckily, again, that's not Quintus. And then play the next card in the action deck. Tiny Thieves. All townsfolk within 3 squares of the Bundits or a Bundit terrain piece. Okay, luckily, Quintus is 4 spaces. Unfortunately, Yancey does have to unequip his rabbit's foot, and it cannot be unequipped for the rest of the fight, which this is the last fight, so I'm just going to throw it over here. Then move towards the farthest townsfolk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was only their first action, unfortunately, so they get another one. Farthest townsfolk is going to be Quintus. Oh, shoot. 1, 2. We'll push Georgie. 1, 2. Actually, we'll push him this way. 3, 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, Bundits leave a trail of destruction in the wake. They deal 2 damage to any townsfolk that was collided with, and that also spawns a Bundo token beside. Okay. Well, let's reshuffle this. Although I think maybe it only reshuffles when we have to draw. I think any time you would draw and the deck is empty. If the action deck is empty, shuffle the discard pile and use it to replenish. Okay, so yeah, never mind. We have to reshuffle it now. Unfortunately, that means our Rainmaker doesn't trigger. Well, it does trigger, but we unfortunately already have full health with Yancey again. That Rainmaker actually proved to be pretty useful. Okay. So we'll do that, and that's going to be their turn. Quintus gets to go. Quintus is going to shoot. Oh, Georgie actually gets to use his thing. So we actually could do this if Georgie hits. So Quintus is going to attack with the sure shot crossbow to do one damage as long as we get anything but a 1. That's a 5, so it gets him down to 2 health. We are going to use our springy wand to also attack, because let's get him down to 1 just in case Georgie has to swap weapons again. And that way that means Georgie can get the final blow regardless of if it's a 1 damage weapon. And then we need the sure shot springy wand, so anything, or a 4 or higher. That's a 9, so that's gonna be, brings him down to 1. We're gonna use all of our movement, 9 movement, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to get as far away as possible from the Bundits. Georgie's turn. Georgie is gonna shoot at the Bundits. We're looking for a 5 or higher. That's a 2. That is gonna be a miss.
Hi there. Sorry for the pause of this incredibly intense action. I'm going to skip a little bit ahead, right to pretty much to the end, because you probably know where this is going. We're trying to get Georgie to get the last hit so we can get the special objective done. And I pretty much go like 2 or 3 rounds without Georgie hitting it. And it's just essentially me running away and just essentially trying to hit with Georgie until we get it. So it's pretty boring. You don't really need to see that. Nothing really crazy happens in those last that last little section of the game. So I'm just going to skip ahead. So that's the reason for this cut, and enjoy the ending.
1, 2, 3, 4. We are 4 squares away. We're going to use our sure shot crossbow. Even with our -1, we're hitting on anything but a 1. That is a 5. That is going to be it. And Georgie gets the killing blow. So we get the special objective done. Oh my god. That fight was ridiculous. A lot longer than it should have taken. I apologize again, as usual. I haven't fought the Bundits before, so if there are any rules mistakes, hopefully next time I encounter them, I won't do that. If you do know I made any rule mistakes, definitely let me know in the comments so I can alleviate that for the future. But that is gonna do it. We get the special objective and we kill the Bundits. So that means we get to read the special story at the end. So if you defeat all enemies, read 14, but if you also complete the special objective, read 30 instead. Let's see what we got. So we got Royal Memories. As the group is savagely ripping apart members of the Bundits, Georgie stands over the Bundo Queen. The crown on her head stirs memories long forgotten. I was royalty once, he thinks. How have I grown so primitive? Perhaps Georgie is gaining control of his senses again. Or perhaps not. At the moment, Georgie's mouth gut opens wide and swallows the Bundo Queen whole. He daintily wipes the spittle from the corner of his mouth gut. That's something. Maybe the old Georgie is in there after all. With all the ruffians successfully murdered, Eureka Springs is safe. The townsfolk will be honored for years to come for their valiant and violent deeds. You win the game. You've unlocked Georgie Irongut's alternative starting gear. Search the secret gear deck for napkin bib and dinner fork. When selecting Georgie as a townsfolk in future games, you may choose to use this gear instead of his traditional starting gear. Oh, so we have our little special unlockable gear thing. This is hidden, of course, underneath the package. So we're gonna try to not read any other secret gear. So we're just gonna look straight for what we need, which is gonna be the bib and the fork. We're gonna flip these over, keep them hidden to make sure I don't spoil any more things for myself. And that is going to be it for that. So let's see. Again, if you don't want spoilers for gear, you'll turn off the video now. But I'm guessing if you're watching the final fight, you're probably ready for spoilers anyways. So for our alternative starting gear for Georgie, we have the dinner fork, which is a melee one-headed unique weapon. You may move through ruffians with your quick trotter ability. When you do, roll on a 4 or higher, deal 1 damage to the ruffians. Interesting. We're able to do 1 damage on a 4 or higher rather than having to roll a 6 or higher, so that is pretty useful. We also got Napkin Bib, which is a chest gear piece. When you consume, you gain +1 movement for the fight. So that's pretty useful. So he can pretty much, no matter what, assuming he gets a consumable, because we do lose our starting consumable, we can just get +1 movement per fight because we don't have to discard consumables when we use them. Pretty cool. I don't think it's as good as Quintus's alternative starting gear. I think Georgie definitely has a better starting gear with his other thing. Having the heal is nice, especially, and doing 2 damage is very, very useful. This is a little bit more consistent. You do also get a little bit more, this is like more utility. But super cool. We have that unlocked. So that is going to be it. We did another successful run on this channel. Thank you so much for everyone who has watched. That makes, I think that makes it so I've done 4 special objective wins so far in this game. There's a little handy thing at the back of the book that lets you keep track of what you've unlocked. So yeah, I've done the special objective for Pepin Milkfrog, Samuel Strawman, and Deputy Wagum so far. Of course, combined with the tabletop simulator versions of the game. So that means we still have plenty more things to unlock. Plenty more things to unlock indeed. But that was fun. Luckily the ranged weapons came in handy in this fight. We did have a lot of movement, which definitely helped. I'm not sure if I like this final fight a whole lot. I think the Bundo Queen, like the Bundo Queen existing, sort of makes it a little bit awkward with the Bundits. It makes the Bundits invincible, which I personally don't really like. I think it would have been better if the Bundits could still take damage and not heal the max. Instead, they would just heal a certain amount depending on how many townsfolk are in the game, like 1 to 4. Because that would allow you to still potentially work through the Bundits and not essentially just have to ignore the Bundits. It would be nice to have, like, you know, some of the party would have to like focus on the Bundits and some of the rest of the party would focus on the Queen, sort of split things up. But essentially we were just running around, running away from the Bundits and trying to just, you know, work our way on the Queen. I also think that it was a little bit too easy once we actually got the Bundos removed from the board. I think having maybe one more card that spawned Bundos would be more beneficial for this fight, because it seemed like it was either or. It seemed either you ended up with a lot of Bundos and they were out of control and you couldn't handle them and you just got rolled over, or in this case we just ended up with 0 Bundos on the board most of the time, and then it was a cakewalk. It was a little bit sketchy. If Yancey ended up dying in the middle of the fight, I don't think we would have won. His frantic fighter ability did come in useful, and also him using the wand was some really, really nice guaranteed damage. So, but that, yeah, it was a good fight overall. I do think probably my least favorite final fight so far. It seems like there is only really one good strategy for this. And it's not as dynamic, I think, as the other fights. You're really just running around and trying to ignore the Bundits essentially for most of the fight. But still, I mean, overall the game's extremely fun. I will now that I've played like a healthy amount of this game, I will be doing a review. I think I'll talk over my things that I like and things that I don't like now that I have a better handle on things. I do want to keep making more Townsfolk Tussle content. This won't be the last run. I'm thinking of maybe doing at least one more run for the channel, maybe 2. We'll see how much I just want to keep showing this game off. I'm going to keep playing this game a lot more, but recording wise, I do want to try and include other stuff on the channel, of course, because I don't want, I know that board game people would like to see a variety, of course. I do have a video going to be coming out that is going to have my thoughts on the Kingdoms Forlorn Kickstarter and if I'm backing it or not. So definitely keep your eye on for that if you're interested in my opinions about the campaign and sort of what it has to offer. I'm very, very interested in that game, especially since I am a backer of Aeon Trespass Odyssey, which of course I'll be getting later this year also. I do also have a board game shelf that I will be doing a sort of check out my collection video. I do want to sort of just talk about all the different games I have on my board game shelf and sort of my thoughts on why I haven't played them as much as other ones. But so if you do want to see more board game content, definitely give the channel a subscription. Definitely tell your friends, and you know, word of mouth makes YouTube channels thrive. So if you do have board game friends and family and they enjoy consuming video content, definitely give my channel a recommendation. I would really appreciate it. So that's going to do that. Thank you so much for joining us for this run of Townsfolk Tussle. I will see you in the next one, and take care.